For fixed election dates is back in the national spotlight after a heated exchange at the private sector organization of Jamaica's town hall yesterday. Constitutional law expert Dr. Lloyd Barnett and Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister Marlene Malahou-Fort clashed over why the recommendation promised nearly a decade ago is still missing from the Republic Bill. Raymond Morrison has that story.
For years, Jamaica has debated fixing the date for general elections, a move supported by both the private sector, the opposition, and one the GLP promised in the lead-up to the 2016 general election. But that debate exploded yesterday as two heavyweights, constitutional lawyer Dr. Lloyd Barnett and Legal Affairs Minister Marlene Malahou-Fort, faced off during the PSOJ virtual town hall.
We have examples where there is agreement on what is to be done. And then the quarrel breaks out on how it is to be done. And we lose focus that there is, in fact, agreement on the what. Huh? So I'll just say that I keep before us.
And do not, spoil the discussion on this issue. The
discussion is being spoiled, Dr. Barnett?
We have a precise question to discuss.
I didn't realize that the debate was being spoiled. We're talking about what needs to be done.
Barnett was referencing the Constitutional Reform Committee's report, which recommended fixing Parliament's term 5 years and limiting the Prime Minister's power to call elections.
That in order for the constitutional provision on the life of the Parliament to be changed, it requires the cooperation of both sides. I think you began there. And it will ultimately require the approval of the people. Now, that is not the only way to get it done.
In order to arrive at that point, it requires a clear, genuine expression of opinion on the matter. If there is a view that the proposal made by the Constitutional Reform Committee is wrong, then that should be stated.
But when the minister revealed that there was no consensus between the government and opposition, Barnett pushed back, saying he was never informed of any disagreement.
We can talk, but we have to go beyond the talk and we have to look at the action that is required. Because even when we talk and we say we agree, obstacles may come in the way. I don't believe that is spoiling this conversation. If we're not prepared to speak with candor, we may be stuck as we have been stuck many times.
And clarity.
Yes, Dr. Barnett, the cabinet of which I'm a part accepted the recommendations of the CRC. I don't know if I can put it any clearer than that.
So that we go forward
and as a point of, Dr. Barnett, that is what we are doing.
It should be in the bill because there is no expressed opposition to it, and there is no indication that there's public resistance to it.
Well, so I can tell you of a fact. I can tell you of a fact that I know there was no consensus on this point.
PSOJ President Metro Siago questioned why, if everyone agrees, the change is yet to be made.
All three speakers and the committee that was set up all seem to say, listen, this is needed, let's do it. But none of us have done it yet. And I just wonder if there's anything out there that I'm missing. Because I'm sure there's a side that says, listen, this is not good because of X, Y, Z. I just haven't heard it.
Opposition Senator Donna Scott Motley argued that previous polls suggested that Jamaicans are heavily in favor for a fixed election date.
Don Anderson went to the people and asked them how they felt about fixed election dates. 81.1% of the persons polled said they wanted fixed election dates in general elections. A slightly lower number, 80.9%, said that they wish to have fixed election dates in local government elections. So the people actually are expressing a strong desire for certainty in the things that they do.
The debate comes as Jamaica prepares for general elections widely expected by September. The Prime Minister had promised fixed election dates in 2016, a pledge now under scrutiny. With more than 80% of Jamaicans supporting fixed election dates, the pressure is mounting. But whether that translates into legislative action before the next election remains to be seen. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
The heat is on as opposition spokesman on education Damian Crawford put his political opponents on blast regarding their management of the education sector. This as he addressed supporters at the party's St. Catherine meeting last evening. Kevin Black reports.
Know them run garden house, and we are run the ground.
Shots have been fired figuratively as the People's National Party (PNP) questioned the effectiveness of the Jamaica Labour Party's education-centered efforts. Continuing their island-wide tour, this time in St. Catherine, the opposition spokesman on education, Senator Damian Crawford, addressed the matter as he assured supporters he's the ideal pick to lead the country's education sector.
None of you. When there was COVID, I am the only politician who take up myself on the internet and teach mathematics for free to the children. Show me phone video. Ask East Rural St. Andrew who went to UA and teach maths to every single child that was willing, whether Labour Right, Jehovah's Witness, or PMP.
Senator Crawford insists his detractors are unqualified to speak on his past educational achievements.
In 4 years, we moved GSAT performance in maths from 49% to 57%. Don't forget that your last Minister of Education is being researched under the Criminal Act for stealing the children money.
Crawford notes the perceived inequality in the education sector is a blight on the part of the current administration.
Their intention is to keep this thing at the point where the poor don't have a chance. And then there's a rich picnic bright. Say in 2015, the mastery of literacy under the PNP was 84%. And in 2024, the mastery was 65%.
The educator is urging the Jamaican electorate to vote out the current JLP administration, thereby allowing him to serve Jamaica's education sector as minister. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Meanwhile, the government's rural school bus system launches in September. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says only upgraded buses will be used and taxi operators stand to earn more as more commuters who will be paying full fare. Carla Ramdeen has this report.
The days of school children competing with the adults for seats, the days of students being told no schoolers or being subjected to harassment and abuse must come to an end.
For this reason, Minister of Transport Darrell Vaz says the bus system will be ready for full implementation at the start of September. Vaz says the government is committed to creating a transport system that is inclusive, efficient, and economically empowering to all stakeholders. The minister explains that out of the 52 buses that are physically in the country, 23 have already been retrofitted. One major change is that the doors have been moved from the right side to the left. Vaz adds that no buses will be placed on the roads without it being retrofitted.
This government and this minister is not bringing any school bus to Jamaica that is not fit for purpose. For September, all 60 buses will be retrofitted from one side to the other. And then there'll be a schedule now on the other 50 buses that will take you from September into the end of the school year. But as I said before, and I want to reiterate it, it's not a matter that 60 September and then 40 is January or 50 is January. They will be integrated into the school system as they are retrofitted and prepared to go on the road. So you will see the increase from 60 gradually starting from probably the end of September into October into November.
He says starting this Monday, August 4th, the Jamaican Urban Transit Company, JUTC Depot, will begin checks on all routes, accompanied by suppliers and the ministry. He notes that the bus system will not only benefit students, but taxi operators who stand to earn more, as there will be more adult passengers paying full fares.
I can say that I have gone out there myself, and I have driven behind the buses. I did it last week Friday in Manchester, and I did over 23 communities. So I spent my entire time in the interiors, and I watched those buses maneuver, both the 32-seater and the 54-seater. And they, as was expected, performed amazingly.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 in a moment.